Welcome to our second episode of our podcast, Talking Points. I'm here joined by...
I'm Anthony. Nice to see you guys.
I'm Ale.
I'm Tommy.
I'm Harry.
Alright, so last episode we got a lot of positive feedback and surprisingly a lot of people tuned in, so thank you for that. We do realize, it wasn't the most entertaining one necessarily, but bear with us, it was our first one and we're still getting used to it. Anybody has any comments on
Well,
that?
as you can clearly see, we kind of switched up the set now. We're going to start doing it in person.
Yeah. Well, not every episode, but we're going to try a couple ones.
Yeah.
So most likely this one and next week's is going to be on in person. Yeah. Which, talking about this week, I hope everybody had or has a good break depending on when we drop this podcast. What are you guys planning on doing for this week?
Sleep, work,
Sleep, work?
play volleyball
Where do you work?
at Vanier because my other job doesn't give me any shifts.
You have two jobs?
Yes, I work at Foot Locker as a part-time job. Sorry, and I work at the G building. Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
So basically, at the G building, what we do is setting up the gyms for the next class. Sometimes cleaning the gyms too, like mopping them and stuff. And also, sometimes we get sent upstairs in the fitness room just to like clean up and like watch, like supervise.
Did you ever have to clean up like puke or something?
No, that's not my job.
Not yet.
I mean, you said that you clean, so what if like...
No, clean
What if
like,
a student was like doing deadlifts and he like puked? Or like Pete, have you guys never seen those TikToks of those? You guys have never seen that? Okay, so I'm not trying to sound sexist, but a lot of women say that it's really hard for them to hold their pee when they're lifting weights.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of videos on TikTok of girls that are like doing a deadlift, and when they force a lot, you just see. And they post it online because they say it's normal for a woman to do that.
And for men, it's nosebleeds.
Yeah, that's what I see.
Okay, now you sound like
No, because he agreed to the girl thing. Like he's been.
Because I see
pissing.
videos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
I thought you've been pissing yourself. I'm like,
no, but
Anyway.
for guys,
Anyways.
what I noticed for guys is like they be lifting like very heavy and then like their f***ing nose, mouth would be bleeding. But
The nose, I know why it is though. Is because we have a lot of thin like blood vessels there.
Yeah.
And it's the same when you sneeze really hard. If you force too much here, it makes you bleed. That's the reason. I don't understand how peeing would work. Do you like? I don't know. Pair stuff together.
I don't think she had me lift.
I don't think so.
So Tom
I
ever
think
had to
it's
clean
true.
some suspicious looking liquid
No,
under
never.
the weights? Never.
It's just more cleaning the benches and stuff, like the
Okay.
things used, like accessories and stuff.
And like events too or stuff. No, once I saw Mohammed driving like a little truck.
Yes, that's more like a fall
Okay.
semesters or summer.
I followed him once. There's no mirrors, so I was in my car following him, and every time he tried to go right, I'd go right to block him. He's like, "Bro, what the fuck?" And he'd have to keep changing, and I kept following him. Do you ever drive that?
Muhammad is gonna. Well, no, I just started this semester, so I didn't get.
Oh, you just started this semester. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, you're always at G building.
Yeah, so I pick
Playing
up
volleyball,
shifts. I pick up
hanging
shifts
around.
usually.
Yeah.
I got referred by Mohammed actually.
shout out.
Shout out, shout out,
Shout out
Monster.
to my
Thank you to
brother.
Muhammad.
Shout out to my brother.
What about you, Harry? Studying, repping Vanny?
Of course, as you can see, always. Nah, pretty much just sleep. This semester has been heavy. Every single day, 8 to 6. It's very bad.
Yeah.
So just getting that sleep in, working here and there, and then
Yeah.
assignments, leaving that last minute. Let's be real here.
Yeah, no, yeah. So many assignments this week. I don't know about you guys, but I've had so many assignments.
I think the first 2-3 weeks were like super chill, nothing.
I
And
agree.
from one day to another, you have a lot of things to do, projects, LIA, this.
Yeah. It got to the point where I was like waking up, because I have to wake up early. Like this is my house in case people were wondering. And you guys saw the big drive here.
Yeah.
So imagine that in the morning with traffic. Now you guys understand why I have to wake up so early. We're not saying my location though. But we just say the full address. Everybody starts showing up. Who would show up? Nobody. Unless you want to go pick apples. There's the apple picking here, by the way. Have you guys ever been apple picking?
Yes.
You've never.
It's
Oh,
so
What's
fun.
apple picking?
so basically, there's like the
You
apple
guys.
fields there. there's the apple fields here. I think strawberry fields too and stuff. And like you pay like I don't know, like maybe $30, and you go and you just pick apples from like the trees, and you can fill up your bag and it's nearby.
We should do that soon.
We should,
We
do,
should
that.
do that.
We should
Yeah.
do that. We should
We
make
talked
a content
about
it.
we talked about skateboarding in your neighborhood because it looks hella fire.
It-
Just the streets and shit.
It's just the same buildings for like miles.
Like the copy paste.
Yes, it's.
And there's like
terrible.
forest. I was expecting to see a Bigfoot or something.
Where in like Montreal about?
Four.
The houses where you guys just said.
Yeah, on your way
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Oh no, wait
Yeah.
here. I
Yeah.
thought we were talking about where he lived. I didn't know.
No,
you
no,
were talking
you years.
Oh,
I said your
yes,
neighborhood.
Oh yeah, yeah, but those houses are brand new. The ones that are like over there, they're like brand new. They were made like 2 years ago or something.
They're still making more.
They're still
That's
making more.
crazy.
Some new condos too, and they're good prices here. Like you can get a good house for a good price. It's pretty good for first home buyers.
Now we should
But
name
it's
drop.
far.
It is far, but it's also very relaxing for me. I love the life here. I used to like living in Laval because it wasn't like. First of all, I hate Montreal. I am in the Laval Superiority here. I hate living in a place where it snows and 2 weeks in and they still haven't taken out the snow. Okay?
Yeah,
Okay?
What
that
about
was
here?
tough. That
Okay.
was tough.
Especially with like this winter storm. So that's why I used to prefer Laval. But then Laval became like a mini Montreal. At this point, I don't like it anymore. And that's why we like it here. It's more calm. Yeah, there's more traffic, but like you leave early,
But
you get to
but the
school
streets
fine.
are very wide.
Here, yeah.
Yeah, like my street, it's so tight and people can't park for none. Like
I don't know what part of Montreal you've been to, but like, yo, my neighborhood is swept clean the morning. Everything is good.
Oh yeah, because they always
You're in the
feed
West.
the rich neighborhoods first.
Ooh.
Why you interrogating bro? Come on.
Like, the roads are just, it looks exactly the same as here.
I don't know. Harry's like, I don't know, man. I look out the 4th floor and I see all the streets are clean. I see my shoveler that I pay $10 an hour shoveling my snow. Yeah.
I actually do that. believe it or not, what, you know the storm where there was like 40 centimeters of snow? There was like these 2 kids that just came knocking on our door. It was like, hey, well, if you pay us, we'll shovel your whole thing, like the whole stairway, you know? Like, and then my dad was like, just pay them and don't ask them to do it. He's like, yo, what if these guys break their neck or some shit? Like the insurance company's gonna come out of our neck.
So another
That's
was
my
it children or adults?
when I
One
go
of
shovel
them,
his house.
it was like I think it was 2 siblings. The older one was like 10 and the other one was like 7. They had like hockey gloves and like they brought the shovels and they were just like shoveling the first while it was snowing. I was like 10 minutes. I just let them shovel for 10 minutes and I was like, oh, thank you guys, it's enough. We'll take care of the rest. You can go. You don't get there. And they were like, they were so kind. They're like, we'll give you back the money though. And I was like, no, it's fine. Keep the money. Just go. Get out of here.
So
Get outta
you
here.
guys heard it here first. Harry and his family paid
Child
for
labor.
child labor. You heard it here first.
Damn.
Now I'm planning on maybe going to the Cosmodome this week.
To the what?
To the Cosmodome.
What's that?
What is?
Does anybody not know?
Is it like
I've
the-
heard about it.
No, that's the Cineplex, Colossus. It used to be Colossus, not anymore. Basically, for people that live in Laval that they know, but the ones that don't, there's a Cineplex. It used to be called Colossus Laval, but they just changed it to Cineplex Laval. It looks like a spaceship from the top, okay, like an alien spaceship.
Nice.
But next to it, there's like a museum of like space, and there's like little activities you can do there and stuff. I went when I was like a kid, when I first immigrated to Canada, long time ago. So I don't remember anything, but I feel like going.
Don't
to
we have one at school too? Like
at school?
yes.
Cool.
I had a French class, and then I think it was like the first or second semester. They brought me somewhere weird in the main building.
No, you're just drunk.
No. I'm
You're
dead
trusting spaceships.
I'm dead ass.
Fancy
There's a
stars.
spot. There's a spot. They brought me all the way up.
Oh, is it the same spot where people get high?
I don't know. I don't know. People get high there. I'll bring.
That you were
I'll bring.
getting high.
No, I'll show you.
No.
I'll bring you there.
I'm scared.
You have to climb a ladder up and stuff.
And
They might not come back down. But
No. And then the thing was turning and it opened and there was a telescope and stuff.
Okay, but that's not a museum.
No, it's not a museum, but it's something like that.
kind of.
Yeah, like
Is it like the same thing that they did for like the solar eclipse, where they set up like this thing where you could see from the inside?
Probably, I don't know.
Because I know there was like
Alright,
I know there was
I was outside, bro.
because I know there was like a huge watch party at Van
Yeah, there
like for
was.
the solar eclipse, right?
It was.
And then there were some people like actually setting up stuff as well, like where you could like the science people they were setting up like actual telescopes and everything.
Maybe. No, but I'm
And
talking
you could,
about.
and you could, I'm pretty sure you could watch it from the, I think it was from G or from the main building. Like you could go up, like all the way up on the rooftop type of thing, and then you could watch.
I just personally am still not clear on what the comparison was. Like I said, one was a space museum, and you heard that,
Because they
and you
talk-
compared it to a telescope.
No.
Like I don't.
They
know.
were teaching-
telescope space.
They were teaching you about galaxies and stuff and planets and stuff.
So you climbed up the ladder. You were outside. You climbed
No,
up the
it was
ladder.
a room.
You got somewhere. There was a telescope, and they started teaching you about. Space.
No, there was a room.
This
right?
guy was just probably dreaming.
Hear me out.
You got abducted
There was
by NASA.
there was a room, and we had to walk through and it explained to us about like the space and stuff. And we went up, and we were able to look at the sun, because the thing opened. Look, I'll bring you one day.
Okay.
Okay,
And then you see what I'm talking about.
Sure. But yes, in other words, the wow, I even forgot what the name was.
Cosmodome.
Cosmodome.
But I think I went there in primary school too.
yeah,
There's
I went,
activities and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
I went when I was really young, but apparently they even sell like astronaut ice cream, which is just like freeze dried.
To be honest, I thought that place was gone.
No, it's still there. It's next to the new Complexe Aquatique.
Oh.
If you guys took the 13, I think it is, you might have passed it. It's just like a big pool, like an Olympic pool ish thing that they just opened there. But whatever, I just felt like going. There's a lot of, you know what's surprising? When you start living here for a long time, you stop like going around. Like, have you guys like went to that place? I forgot what it's called, but the Biodome, I think it is. It's called near the Olympic Stadium.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where you, yeah, exactly. It's like
Yeah.
it's like things like that. Like, I just don't hear about it. I had a friend come from British Columbia, and she was like, "Oh, I want to see things around. We want to go here. We want to go there." I'm like, "Sure, I'll drive you guys around." And so they came here for like a week. I think the cousin was getting married, and so he just wanted to like vacation here a little bit. So we went there together, and I'm like, I've never been here. Like, there's so many places
Yeah.
where it's like when you live here, you just don't go because you're like,
I live here, but would I go?
It's like too far. Yeah.
exactly, so crazy.
Yeah, no, because that it actually shows your motivation to do anything. Because like all of like the exciting stuff is always happening like downtown and all that. And if you live like 40 minutes away, and that's without traffic. Keep in mind. So like there's that. And then once you get there by car,
There's
no way in hell
parking, no
no way in
parking.
hell you're finding parking.
No way, no. Uh-huh.
And you have to always park in these like private garages where they charge you like $25.
Overpriced.
Where they charge you like $25 a night.
Oh,
I remember
sorry.
one time, like I went to see a Canadians game with my family, right? And I told them we're going by Metro. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't care. And then we were supposed to leave at 5. Guess what? We did it. So it was 6. At that point, we can't. It's either we go by Metro and not make it on time, or we take the car, right?
And don't find parking.
Yeah. And then we get there at 6:45. Yeah. And then look around the Bell Center for like
No.
20 minutes, no parking there. And then finally we see like this random building where I see a whole bunch of cars lined up to go in. And then they're like, yeah, this is a private garage that's like, it's near the Bell Center. It's not owned by the Bell Center. But yeah, and then we get in there, they're like, pay $25. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? And I'm like, the game, like the game is like already started and everything. Like it's for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Pay 25. I had no choice. It's either that or you don't go to the game. I was like, okay,
Exactly.
we pay. And then guess what? The game finishes. We go there. It takes us 35 minutes to get out because it's like fucking 6 etage, and only like the one on the bottom. You all have to like follow a circle. It's not even like properly managed either. So like,
Mhm.
Yeah, there's
it's-
always a lot of traffic.
yeah,
That's
it's so bad. Like at that point, like I'm like I should have just stayed home. Like
Exactly. No, and that's why for me it's like there are downsides to living far away from like Laval and Montreal, but there's also positives. But yeah, that's definitely one of the downsides. Like you, anywhere you want to go, it's super far away, and you're not gonna find parking. But in general, that's Montreal not finding parking though. And that's why I don't like it. I don't like the fact that all the houses are basically glued together. That everything is so small. The streets are so small. There's almost like no sidewalks during winter. And look here, man. Look here. Like I got like a good amount of space between this neighbor and this neighbor. I have a good backyard, you know. All
Crazy.
the streets
Oh,
are
he has a
not.
pool, he has a pool.
Oh, I'm like saying.
Oh.
So it's like I just like it so much better. I feel like it's so much more comfortable, like living somewhere here.
Yeah, he has like 10 cars in his driveway, you know. 2 Lambos.
A sexy ass
A Tesla,
Pontiac.
the Tesla from
Yeah, I think a Bugatti too, right?
Yeah, we got
From
it.
last, yeah,
From
we
last
talked about it.
episode.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not here right now. My friend is borrowing it.
Oh, yeah. Who was it? Who was it again? Matt.
Matt, yeah.
Yeah,
Matt borrowed it. He wanted to take us some shorty.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, now, I have a question I wanted to ask you guys. In your opinion, what has been your worst semester? Or like your best semester? Because we're all in business administration. So like, what would you say has been your worst semester?
My worst semester was the first one. First winter semester. First winter semester. Because I was slacking a lot, which caused me to fail 2 classes. Well,
which ones?
one class.
Marketing. He was on my team.
Marketing. Yeah, marketing. Because I skipped a 30%.
Oh my god.
I skipped a 30% exam.
Actually,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
I
crazy.
remember you
I
told me.
know.
Did you know or did you not know?
I found like last minute. I couldn't make it.
Well, what do you mean you found out last minute? Like,
I was not a student.
no, but like you woke up late or you didn't wake up or you woke up and you said I don't feel like going to marketing. Like what was
Yeah,
it?
I was gonna skip that class, but that class was a
okay.
exam. See, like I was
forgot.
a bad student back then.
Back
You
then.
still are.
But then,
No, I'm not.
Yo,
No, I'm not.
Bad for bad grades.
And then I failed accounting by computers. That's good.
First or
Hey,
second?
I have an
First or
excuse.
second? First or second?
I didn't
The
know
second
There's
one.
only one.
there's
two.
accounting and accounted by computers.
Yeah,
Oh, you said
About
accounting.
by computers.
Oh, okay.
and then that class, I had a brand new teacher. She did not know how the software worked, or the computers, or how the program
What was
worked.
the teacher?
Wait,
name?
what
I don't know her name.
You
I
remember?
literally forgot.
Oh.
So I stopped showing up to her classes because I thought if I stopped showing up, she would like remove me from the list or like drop me, you
No,
know.
you have to drop.
You
I
had
didn't know,
Oh,
and then I ended up with an 11%, which brought my R score so low.
Yeah.
And then like now I can't even do that.
So it's been how long now? 2 years?
2 years.
And your R score is what now?
It's like 25.
Oh,
But
it's
it's-
not
Whoa, what a claw back up!
for the fact that you got an 11%.
Yeah.
No, I went from 23 to 25. I
That's
told you
actually
guys
good.
I stopped being a bad student.
Funny enough, he was in the same marketing class. This is like when I didn't know he was on my LIA team.
Yeah,
he was on my
I didn't know like that.
like I didn't
I
know
did my
him.
part though.
Yeah,
I
like, he,
presented my part.
yeah, like he didn't show up the whole semester. So what happened was like I'm like this guy's not gonna show up. I did his part, and then I was like I left him like tiny little bit. Surprisingly, he did that. And then the day of the presentation, right? Because there was another class I think, or like he had a presentation with another team, like for the same class, but not with me, and he just didn't show up. So I was like, okay, he's not gonna show up.
What?
Yeah, that's what happened. Cause like whenever I would text him, I would be like, oh, this guy's not gonna do anything. So I just did his part, and I'm like, yeah, there's still this left. If you want, you can do it. I still already had it ready in case he doesn't, but then I just acted as if I'm gonna let him do it, but he did it. Fair
Yeah,
enough, he
no,
did it.
because this guy has known me in my like worst student.
face.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Exactly.
I'm getting
Yeah.
there. Yeah. So then I prepared his part as well, like to present, and then he showed up. He actually presented, and then we got a decent grade. I was like, okay.
Yeah, because the thing is, I knew I was gonna fail, but I was like, I'm not gonna like impact their grades because I didn't want to fucking do.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it, right? So I was like, you know what? Like I'll show up and I'll do it for them,
Yeah.
knowing that I fail anyways. So
And I kind of took note of that, and then the following semesters, I'm like, okay, he's kind of reliable. Like he said he's gonna show up, and he did. So I'm like, I started teaming up with him, and then at that point in time, he actually started working. So I was like, okay, from now on, just like
Fair
when there's like a teamwork, he's locked on my team. Like it's
Is
not.
that why you teamed up with him for entrepreneurship?
Yeah, exactly.
I did not know. Like a lot of the guys, like men that were in that class, I didn't know.
I did not know
You
Caesar.
guys were just sitting next to me. So then.
Oh, you didn't know each other?
No,
until
we didn't.
I
last
didn't know
semester?
him.
No, the thing is, I had worked with him in one single class.
Me?
And, yeah.
Oh
Consider-
yes, with yeah.
But the thing is, it was like a thing where like we didn't need to talk to each other. We had like a set of like 30 questions, and we just had to split it in 5. So
No.
we're like, okay,
Okay.
you do this, you do
But to
this.
be fair though, that class like.
Who was your
What
teacher?
the was that class? Like it got to a point where like the instructions were so simple and would follow them and get a horrible ass grade. You remember that?
Yeah,
Who was your teacher?
we're not gonna name drop.
We're not gonna name drop.
What blip?
I'll say wait Cover your mouth if you say it.
Oh, that's the goat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't
but
know
like
her
no.
name.
She's an amazing teacher. She
You
teaches
can
really
you
well.
can say that. She's an amazing teacher, but she's really nice. She's an amazing teacher. It's a she. Yeah, we can drop that. But the problem was like her instructions were very like weird. It's like she tell us, "Oh, this is on the slides," and then you look directly on the slides and almost copy paste it and then apply what you were doing, and then she'd be like, "No, because you were actually supposed to use this," and it's like, but like. I still use this, which is on the slides, and it was just so weird. I don't know if you remember. I tried.
Because like
Sure,
this
I
was
remember.
like kind of when ChatGPT was like popping off.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
she was like, I really need you guys to like get everything from your slides, like purely from your slides. So whenever we would get like, I'll be honest, like when it came to the first LIA, we didn't use AI. We just used a mix of the slides plus like actual research, like from Google and stuff. And then
Yes.
she was like, guys, you can't use Google. It has to be purely from the slides. And then the second time, when we did the purely off the slides thing, she's like, well, it's like, it has no like depth because you guys are just using everything that the slide says.
Bro.
So like,
Wasn't it the
we were
book?
like, you know, but it was not terrible.
Yeah,
It was
Yeah.
okay.
Slides are really like aged. They're from 2012.
Oh no, but for this it was good. For this it was
Yeah.
rather new. She actually, that's the one thing that I really liked about her. She teaches really well, and she actually, it looks like she practices
Updated.
before she comes to teach it in class. Like she doesn't scramble through her notes. Like she knows what.
like
she's
other
teaching.
teachers that just come and they're like, "All right, so today we're gonna go over." Let me open it up first.
And then
All right,
What
so
does it say?
I know exactly who that is.
207 602. This name of this class. This project consists of writing 2 papers. All right, guys. So writing 2 papers. So 2 papers will be. Oh my god.
And when you ask for questions too,
It's-
oh, I got you. So it says,
Yeah.
please help me. Then you're just like, okay, thank you, and you.
I think Mohammed knows too. Mohammed knows best.
Oh, I knows best. No, but that I don't think that compares to my worst experience with a teacher. I'm not gonna name drop, but I've gotten like in big trouble with teachers. My first issue was when it was online school. I don't know if anybody here was at Vanian during online school, but I was because I was in another program before this. But this wasn't a gen ed. So before the business administration, I was in computer engineering technology, another 3-year program. And this class wasn't one of that program. It was one of the gen ed programs, and it was a French teacher. And without sounding racist, they were, you know, like dark skinned, right? And we were on Zoom, and I thought it would be funny to put a background picture of a meme. So if you can open your phone and look up for me, Piper Perry meme. Just look that up. We'll put it on the video for those people that like are wondering what it looks like. Okay, so now hear me out. So now that you can probably see it on your screen. So this was the meme.
I know, I took a glance.
So that was the meme.
yeah, I know.
And- I put myself in the middle. So I made it look like I was the one sitting on the couch. So I was
Why
just
would
like
you
this.
do that?
And I just had a bunch of very attractive men.
Why would you do that? Of
Because I
course.
thought it was funny. But wait.
It was
You
fun.
might think, no. You might think, oh, okay. The problem came from the fact that you were using a meme from a adult content,
Adult
right?
content media.
No. She kicked me out of the class because she told me that I wasn't in her class, and I'm like, what the fuck? Yes, I am. And then I tried joining back, and she wasn't letting me. So then I remember I saw somebody's name. Her name was Rebecca. So I changed my my Zoom name
Oh,
to Rebecca, and she let me back in. But I only did it at the end of the class, and I started talking with her. And I asked her, why'd you kick me out, blah blah. And she starts telling me because I'm racist. And I'm like, excuse me? She's like, yeah, you're racist. I know what that picture means.
What does it mean?
What do you mean? You know what it means? Yeah, it's racist. I saw it on the news. She literally said that. It's like, I
News?
saw it on the news. I know what it means. What you're trying to place yourself in front of them. Like, you think you're better than them. And I'm like,
No.
what are you talking about? Do you even know what that picture means? Yes, I do. You do not know, because if you knew, you know it wasn't anything racist. No, I know, I'm not dumb. And I'm like, oh, if you know so, you don't know, because those are my cousins. Oh, what are you talking about? Wait.
How is that gonna help you in your
But
conversation?
because
Why would that go-
my excuse was kind of to be like, she's saying she knows what it is, but clearly she doesn't, so I'm gonna fucking lie too. So I'm like, these are my cousins. And she's like, no, that's not true, you're lying. You don't know that. You don't know that. And you tell me what the picture is if you know what it is. I'm not gonna be here trying to fighting with the student and whatnot.
Okay, that was bad. You shouldn't do that. Don't do
Yeah.
that.
He got so heated, he started turning red.
Yeah.
You can't really see it, but he
So what
started
happened?
turning
What
red.
ended up happening to you?
I dropped the class
Oh.
because
At least.
we both apologized to each other because I told her that I was Latino and I'm like, you're calling me racist?
He is the Latino girl.
No,
I can't be
no.
racist.
Oh my god, I forgot this because it happened really long ago. This was my first semester. She actually started insulting me. She was like, somebody as close-minded as you is never gonna do well in life. You're like really ignorant. You're never gonna better yourself just because you've always been in a place of like superiority and like privilege. And I'm like, Miss, I'm an immigrant and I'm Mexican. What are you talking about?
What are you talking
Which, by the way, I think anybody can be racist, and I think everybody has some sort of privilege, whether you're any color, whatever. That's not the point. The point is also everybody faces a certain type of discrimination. So I wasn't using this to kind of tell her like, oh, I'm an immigrant, so I can't be racist, or I'm Mexican, so I can't be racist. No, this was my way of telling her like, I don't even think she knows what I am. I think she maybe thought it was like Italian or something. I don't. And I told her like, I'm Mexican and I'm an immigrant. Like, I was born and raised in Mexico. After I said that, she completely changed. She just went like all quiet. And, okay, well, it's just I really didn't like that picture and whatnot. I'm like, I'm sorry. It was very unprofessional of me. I was just trying to make a little joke. I didn't mean anything bad by it. Like, and she apologized, and that was it. Hell no, I'm not staying with a teacher that was already angry at me. My grades are dependent on them. You think they're gonna grade me fairly? No, I dropped that class.
I mean,
What class was it?
I mean,
I forget. It was
French, no?
yeah, but I was dumb. I didn't read. It was about like Afro-American people problems.
Good job! Wow! Okay, I see now. Okay, so those are two of your bad experiences. Harry, did you talk about yours yet?
I have to kind of think it through.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
Because I have so many,
Math
right?
teachers, you.
Bad teachers, bad courses.
No. Well, the bad teachers. He kind of already explained it. She just raised the entire time. And as for bad experiences, I wouldn't say it's a bad experience, but it wasn't the most fun. So like my first year, I just focused on doing homework and assignments without like making any friends.
Did you?
I did. I had a pretty good grades. I averaged around like 80 and above.
What?
No,
I didn't know him this first year.
I didn't know he
I'm
was
laughing
French.
because
I
I
know him
have a
first
confession
year.
that I
He was
want to
actually
make.
What?
I have a confession that I want to
He
make
was
that I've
good.
never told you.
Not anymore.
The first time I met you, I did not like you. And
Alright,
I'll tell
we're
you
doing
why.
it on podcast.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I'll tell you why.
Let's go. Let's go.
And you can ask Cyril because I told him right away. Because we sat down and we were talking. I'm like, so what's up? What's your name? So like, what are you planning on doing? No, I'm just here for fun.
Yeah, you.
And I'm
were
like,
such a old
What do you mean you're here for fun? You're waking up at like 7 a.m. in the morning to get to class at 8, running through all the stress of tests, assignments, and everything, and you have the balls to come and say, I'm just here for fun. It annoyed me so much. I told Cyril this guy's a idiot, saying he's just in school for fun. I don't like him. And so I was like, bro, chill, you just met him. I'm like, no, this guy, nobody's just here for fun.
I remember he told me that. I was like,
What the f?
I remember.
Yo, you kept that from me? Crazy.
To be fair, he also did it in digital marketing.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was like, oh,
and he
my
always.
dad wanted me to get
Bro,
my diploma.
He always skips the first week of classes.
Oh,
we don't do
Stop!
Because we don't do anything. Why would I go?
Alright, we're just slandering my name now, I
Okay,
guess.
I'll defend him here. I had him during the first year. He was actually good. It's like the complete opposite of Tommy.
Yeah, now he's bad.
I still do.
That's what he's saying, I don't know.
I think it was for intro to business, and I think we had like 3 other classes. Like the first semester, I had almost all my classes with it.
Okay.
That for intro to business, I think we had to go interview a manager at some sort of business.
Oh, well, who was your teacher?
Irene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Irene.
Lakis. I don't know how to pronounce. I'm probably butchered her name. But
It's
yeah.
fine, just give the person name.
Yeah, Irene. Yeah. She's still teacher there, so Yeah, she's still there, but yeah, what we had to do was like we had to interview a manager or something, and I think I was teamed up with him, and I remember that's like the only project, I'll be honest with you, that everything was done like perfectly. Like no one was slacking off in terms of scheduling. Everyone was on time. Everyone agreed on the thing. And trust me, and some of these people, I'm not going to list out the names of the people, but some of these people have changed a lot. If you compare them before and now, they don't put that same effort in.
I agree.
Yeah, and like everyone was doing well. When we got there, the interview went smoothly, and then when it came to the actual presentation, we were done like 2 weeks before, because we had to present on a Saturday. I remember we had to come into school on a Saturday and present. Yeah, so like we already had it done 2 weeks in advance, and then 1 week prior to that, we had like a rehearsal thing where like every 2 days after class finished, like we would have that class, and then technically we would go home. We would be like, no, we're staying. We're gonna rehearse that presentation.
Why are you laughing?
Yeah, because I'd never do that again, bro.
Yeah,
Too much
but the thing is, that practice, like the fact that we did it so many times, when it happened, the teacher had literally no comments. She was like, that was the first presentation I've seen. And the fact that we went first put such a high benchmark for like everyone else, that every time like the presentation would be done, she'd be like, yeah, I guess.
Wait, I remember that. You remember? I forgot his name, but he went solo and he was talking about Papa John's.
Yeah.
Terrible presentation. There was no like research or detail about it. It was ground level. Like he said the owner's name or talked about why he liked it, which was nowhere near what we were supposed to do. He clearly failed, and I never really saw him again.
Okay, but go back to the bad teacher experience. Because I think we cut it. You didn't end it.
No, he said it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same
he was
as-
saying the same one as me.
Honestly, for
I
me,
just wanted.
rather than one teacher, I would say it's like it's a list of things that teachers do
Yeah,
that I really don't like.
yeah.
So, for example, teachers that don't open the door once the clock hits. I had this one teacher once that it was like, if you were a single minute late, he would actually put it down like on Omnibox. And then most of the times he wouldn't let it open. The only time the lateness was accepted was when he was late, right? He was late. It's a guy, yeah. He was late to class and he set it on Omnibox. So I was already in class. I was like, okay, he's gonna be 20
Close
minutes.
the door.
Yeah, he was 20 minutes late. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go get some drinks, and then probably I was just chilling in the lounge, okay, waiting for him to come in. But he said he's gonna be 20 minutes late, and guess what? He showed up 10 minutes late. So I was like, I told myself, I was with Ali actually.
Oh, we were
I was,
together.
yeah,
We
we
were
were
all
together.
together.
I just don't want to say it because then we're gonna say the name.
Oh,
Which
that's,
is
that's why you said it.
Yeah, okay. So and then we're like, we have 10 minutes. Well, it's fine. But the thing is, our stuff is in the class, mind you. The stuff is in the class. Our books are open. Everything is ready. And then we were like, okay, it's getting late. We still went 5 minutes in advance. Technically, we went at 15, and then we knocked the door. We see him.
and he put
I'm not even kidding. He put 4 desks blocking the door because apparently he got annoyed of people knocking the door and getting
and
in.
he put
Wow.
He just put the thing. He's like, I'm not letting anyone in. And I'm like,
and he put chairs and like the desk and then another desk
yeah.
and then chairs
He
like
did-
blocking the
He
door.
literally did a fortress of chairs just to block everyone out.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then he was like literally crashing out on us. I'm like, you were the one who was late.
Did you tell him that?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
thing is, we told him, but
At the end, he let us enter.
yeah, he let us enter because like everyone else was like kind of
Because
giving
there were
shit.
many people outside.
Yeah, there was a lot of people outside, and everyone like he saw that the class was like half empty. So, and the people inside were giving him shit.
Like, some teachers have such an ego, bro. Like such an ego. Like that's what I was gonna say. Like I agree with you. I don't think it's necessarily that there's certain classes that or semesters or teachers that I dislike. It's certain attitudes that I
Yeah.
dislike. That some teachers have more of them than others. I
For
completely agree with
example,
you.
We had a teacher who felt superior. You remember?
I've had a lot of them, but which one?
Keep going.
We had a teacher and we had a project and we followed the guidelines that were on the LIA and Omnibooks. And then on the day of the presentation, he's like, "You did everything wrong.
Yeah.
How am I gonna grade
Yeah.
you?"
And then followed by everybody doing the same
Yeah.
exact thing. Everybody in class before presentation asking, "What are we supposed to do it on though?" "Oh, you'll be fine. Don't worry
Follow the
about it."
guidelines. Follow the guidelines.
Which is
guys.
what we did.
And we did, and he said at the end, "This is not what I wanted."
Which I got a good grade on it. I know you got a lower grade for some reason that makes no sense.
I'm just gonna say,
Even though he said that your part was the only one that actually,
I don't get it.
yeah,
I don't know.
whatever.
And I still have time.
But anyways,
Oh.
before finishing off, next week at Vanny, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure which day, is GeekCon. So if you like any of those little, like, you know, trinkets that they sell, anime things, or even there's one vendor that I really like myself that actually makes like crochet plushies. You can go stop there. There's going to be a lot of people and it's most likely going to be during UB, and a lot of little like stores where you can buy posters, keychains, pins. So yeah, I recommend you to explore, especially if it's your first semester, but I doubt anybody that's watching this, it's their first semester. And besides that, we're probably going to go now. All right, and with that concludes our second episode of Talking Points. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and please follow our Instagram. And remember,
Really
back soon.